Yo, what's up, Blackish fam? I hope all is well in your corner of the world, from the US to the UK. Man, shout out to all the love we've been getting. We've only just started this channel at the start of 2022, and we've already pushed over 500 subscribers. So it's growing incredibly well. And man, we love checking out new music. If you're new to this station, we do what we call intellectual breakdowns, where we're not just listening to the song, but we're dissecting the song bar by bar. Give me all those bars, right? But it's so much more than just understanding the music. We consider ourselves modern day griots, right? What exactly is a griot? A griot is someone in specific to Western Africa that would there were generations of griots, right? You grew up in a griot family, and their job was to retain large amounts of information and pass down history from one generation to the next, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And they did it through dance, they did it through song, they did it through spoken word. And in the U.S., I ask, who are our griots today? Where are we getting information about us as minority people, as black people? Where does our history come from? Because we have something called critical race theory right now. And in the schools, they're not teaching our history, right? And they say, well, we got to decide on what we teach in the public school system. I'm like, oh, I got a suggestion. How about we teach motherfucking history? The good, the bad, and the ugly. Put it all out there, right? The U.S. has just a horrible history of violence and genocide, murder, and we try to sugarcoat it, and it's like, oh, the United States is the best country in the world, and we had these feasts with these pilgrims. It's like, why don't you talk about the raping and murdering, right? The enslavement of people, all the bad things that we've done a few videos that highlight some things that they're just not well known in the U.S. about the Black Panther Party, or what Malcolm X stood for, what Martin Luther King Jr. stood for, who is Marcus Garvey, who is Mansa Musa, right? Who are these figures in history that you don't really know much about? What about Black history? What was going on in Africa in the 1400s, 1500s, 1600s, right? How did that compare to what was going on in other parts of the world, right? I think about what was it, Oswin Benjamin. I did a reaction to one of his songs, and it's another lyrically dense artist, but he said something that I'll always remember. He said, "Until the lion learns how to write, you'll always only read books from the perspective of the hunter." Right? And I think about our U.S. books, and they're always all from a European perspective. So I really love artists like Akala, artists like Black Thought, artists like Ciroc, right? Artists all around the world that do, some people call it conscious rap, some people call it political rap. I just think of it as somebody who has something of substance, something intellectual to add to the conversation. And sometimes it just gets the conversation going, right? And that's music I love to hear, and that's what this channel is built around, dissecting these different artists. And man, I have become a fan of Akala. We've checked out his Fire in the Booth Part 1. We did another song, I think it was Find the No Enemy. Then we did Fire in the Booth Part 4. And then recently I did Murder Around the Globe. Now, so, this is probably the fifth song I heard from Akala. And man, I'm a fan. He always brings something different to the table. This is one called Daily Duppy. Shout out to the comment section, man. I love the subscribers. It's all organic, right? We don't purchase subscribers. We don't purchase likes. All the comments they're from people who actually love intellectual music and intellectual breakdowns as well. And man, I love that we have a community that we're building here where we can explore music like this and check out real artists that have something intelligent to say. Without further ado, this is Daily Duppy from Akala. And you guys in the U.S., I'm sure you might not be aware of the word Duppy. If it's Duppy in the sense that I learned it as, it's like a malevolent spirit, right? Or just in a bigger picture would just be to say it's a ghost, I guess. But let's hear what he's talking about. All right, we see you there, Kala.
Daily Duppy.
Man, I love the hair. I actually thought about, I keep my hair relatively low, and it's because I have super straight hair. I'm mixed. My mom is black and my dad is Mexican. I didn't really know my dad, so I identify mainly as black. I always thought about getting some dreads, right? I think I'd be a beast in dreads.
Man, we're a whole novel, blood. Mad. Ah! Back to the bar. Listen.
Come on now, Akala, what you got for us?
What are you smoking?
Whoa.
Composing better than bolt on a track when strolling. Words that strap, tap you swollen, head full of hoses, Beethoven.
He kind of caught me off guard with that. Man.
What are you smoking? Beethoven, couldn't composing better than bolt on a track when strolling. Words that strap, tap you swollen, head full of hoses, bed full of roses. That's right, my pen bolt. Who the best? What are you smoking? Beethoven, couldn't composing better than bolt.
He said, man, I don't think I've ever heard anything that was at this kind of tempo from Akala. But he said, who's the best? What are you smoking? Beethoven couldn't compose this. For those that don't know Beethoven, he's talking about Ludwig von Beethoven, right? Most people know he died in the early 1800s. I think he was born in late 1700s to the early 1800s. But he was a German composer and a pianist, right? He's one of the most admired composers in Western music, and classical music. And I mean, his catalog, right? When we talk about catalogs and how much music you have, and I think Akala likes to talk about owning his masters and his back catalog. When we talk about the catalog with Beethoven, it's some of the best and one of the most recognized sounds and music in the world. Let's get back to it. Run it back a little bit. I'm back up.
What are you smoking? Beethoven, couldn't composing better than bolt on a track when strolling. Words that strap, tap you swollen, head full of hoses, bed full of roses. Composing better than.
Man, I'm gonna have to have my.
What are you smoking? Beethoven, couldn't composing better than bolt on a track when strolling. Words.
Yeah, he said better than Bolt. You saw that little picture, and I love that he's doing that because with something like this, it's very hard to catch all the bars when he's spitting this quick. He said better than Bolt on a track when I'm just strolling, right? Usain Bolt, he's a retired Jamaican sprinter, widely considered to be the greatest sprinter of all time. He has the world record in like the 100 meter, the 200 meter, right? This is a very fast dude. He said, yo, I'm better than Bolt when I'm just strolling through the hood, bro.
Who the best? What are you smoking? Beethoven, couldn't composing better than bolt on a track when strolling. Words that strap, tap you swollen, head full of hoses, bed full of roses. That's right, my pen is atrocious. Filling with lead when he bled exposes. Don't bleed ink like we do the poses. We need to oppose us, cause it leads to Jehovah. You can't lead.
He said it leads to Jehovah. Now, Jehovah might be different. If you're from the U.S., you're probably thinking of Jehovah. We don't use Jehovah that much, but a lot of people confuse it. You might have heard of Jehovah's Witnesses, right? Jehovah is not the same as Jesus, even though some people seem to use those the same. Jehovah is what's considered the Almighty God, right? Where Jesus is the firstborn, right? The Son of God. He was created by Jehovah, right? Before anyone else. But Jehovah is worshipped, I guess, right? Because he's God. But right, that Jesus came to earth in the form of a human being and died for our sins, and that's why people worship Jesus. Now, I'm not a religious scholar by any means. I actually really struggle, or as he says, green, right? I'm wet behind the ears. I don't really know religion because my mom decided that she wasn't going to tell me who she voted for or what she believed in because she wanted me to explore it on my own when I came of age. And I love her for that because it made me someone I always, as you guys could probably tell from these breakdowns, I have some weird random knowledge, right? I'm excellent at trivia nights and wing nights. I'm down. As long as you're picking up the bill, I'm down, and we will win some trivia nights. But when it comes to historical references, pop cultural references, I can normally get it right away. But biblical references, man, I don't have a point of reference. I've never studied it, so I only know some of the more basic stories of like Cain and Abel and Judas, but I've never read the Bible. I've never read the Quran, and I only really know the kind of surface level stuff. So if there's some biblical references that I miss, man, feel free to let me know in the comment section. I love it because if I don't know something, I'm one of those people. I Google it right away, and I tell all our teenagers that I got a house full of badass boys and a little 5-year-old girl that runs everybody. And even some strays I took in over time that I take care of that are family as well. But I tell these kids, man, Google it. If you don't understand something, especially with a really lyrical artist like Akala or Black Thought or Toby Wigway, man, you have to understand it. You have to understand who he's referring to.
Heed what I told ya, Moses. We think you need to oppose us, cause it leads you Jehovah. You can't lead, heed what I told ya. You go where you told you a chauffeur.
He said, heed what I told you. In the U.S., and I keep bringing it back to the U.S. because it's from a UK perspective, right? Or somebody from England would probably get some of these references. As I studied other music and I kind of understand things, and it's not that there's a different definition, but people don't say heed, at least in my circle, right? But heed means to take notice or pay attention. Just want to break that down in case somebody's listening. Like, man, what did he say?
To oppose us, cause it leads you Jehovah. You can't lead, heed what I told ya. You go where you told you a chauffeur. I don't care if you're big friends with Moses. I won't spare your brethren or soldiers. I go spare with lead pens, you know this, and I don't share, so best get your own shit. It's the bite of a python, fight with a titan. Eye for an eye, son. I won't blind it or fly it on my.
Yo, listen to what he said, right? He said, eye for an eye, son. What did he say? He said, he's talking about, he said, you go where you're told you're a chauffeur. I don't care if you're friends with Moses. I won't spare your brethren or soldiers, right? Your people. But I like what he said. He said it's the bite of a python. Fight with a titan. I don't know if he said titan. Right? Let's run that back a little bit.
Get your own shit. It's the bite of a python. Fight with a titan. Eye for an eye, son. I won't blind it or fly it on my one. So don't try to be fly you with dice, son. Rolling a dice.
Ooh, don't try to be fly, son. What do you say? Eye for an eye. What's the meaning of eye for an eye, right? If you don't know it, it's a principle of justice, right? It basically means that the punishment is equal when compared to the offense, right? Not greater than the offense. In ancient times, a lot of times they're like, he stole something, kill that man, cut off his legs, and cut the legs off of his entire family, right? And then they're just sitting there on some torso shit, right? No, it means that, if you steal something, break his hand, right? If he raped your daughter, man, you rape his daughter, right? Eye for an eye. But what is that? Is it Confucius that says eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind, right? But that's the meaning of eye for an eye. It's basically saying if someone puts out another's eye, that the offenders of the eye should be put out. I like what he said, though. He said, I won't blie, not a fly. And he said something about don't try to be fly, son, or you will die. I caught that. Let's run it back.
I don't spare with lead pens, you know this, and I don't share, so best get your own shit. It's the bite of a python, fight with a titan. Eye for an eye, son. I won't blind it or fly it on my one. So don't try to be fly you with dice, son. Rolling a dice, son. All in your life, one. When you're a boss, suck like a Dyson. Worse than a bastard. Words are arsenic. Never.
Yo, man. I just wanted to run it back because he said your bars suck like a Dyson, right? He's talking about your flow is whack. And I'm sure in the US and the UK, people know what a Dyson is, but I know a lot of dudes in the US don't know that Dyson is actually a British company, right? It was actually established in the United Kingdom by James Dyson. This was early 90s, I believe 90 or 91. But they basically, everybody knows a Dyson, right? A vacuum cleaner, air purifiers, right? Dryers, bladeless fans, hair dryers, heaters, lights. That's a Dyson company, but it's a British company. You see them in Walmart and all the stores in the U.S., but that's where it comes from.
Python, fight with a titan, eye for an eye, son. I won't blind it or fly it on my one. So don't try to be fly you with Dyson. Rolling a dice, son. All in your life, one. When you're a boss, suck like a Dyson. Worse than a bastard. Words are arsenic. Never have you
You saw he did a little the compound structure or the what's the right word in chemistry. But basically, he's talking about arsenic, and he showed the chemical composition, I believe, of arsenic. He said, "Worse than a bastard, words are arsenic." Now, arsenic, it's the list of elements, right? That he just showed. Now, arsenic, it is a natural element. A lot of people think of arsenic and they think it's deadly to kill somebody, but it's actually something that's natural. You could find arsenic in rocks, right? Soil, water, air, plants, animals. but it's the level of arsenic. If people are exposed to arsenic, it could come from, agricultural, industrial uses, right? But it consumed in large amounts or exposed to different amounts, it'll kill a person like that, right? So arsenic, it causes serious illness, or it can lead to prolonged death depending on your exposure, right? The main cause of arsenic poisoning, it's not someone, a spy that's going to arsenic and just because they don't want a rat, right? The main cause of arsenic poisoning worldwide is the drinking of groundwater that has high levels of the toxin, right? That's where arsenic is found. Rocks, again, soil, water, air. And a lot of people don't know that they've consumed arsenic and they're dying over time.
So heavy when you're a boss, shot like a Dyson, worse than a bastard. Words are arsenic. Never have you heard of the arsonist. I'm so heavy when I kick the basket. Half the man I couldn't carry my casket. Half the man I couldn't manage my classes. Other half wouldn't pass it regardless. Half of the name them really bars that are mastered, ain't they?
You said you wouldn't even other half wouldn't even pass the classes. You're simple, bro. It's okay. The world needs simple people too, right? Not everyone can be an intellectual or a historian, right? Let's run that back.
My classes, upper half will pass it regardless. Harder an artist, name them really. Bars that are mastered, ain't they? Filthy chance of a lasted, they ain't kill me. Heart of darkness, yet I still be. Touch mics here, no hat, you got ears, it's quite clear. I gone clear, they gone fear, the top tier. I drop tears so much that I can stop beers. They stop tears to clock mere pretenders.
What do you say? I dropped tears. I dropped tears so much that I could drink beer or I could stock beers.
Kill me, heart of darkness, yet I still be the best fitter to ever touch mics here. No hat, you got ears, it's quite clear.
God damn, I was happy that the lyrics were in the video, but it's so fat. He's spinning so fast that it's coming across the screen so fast, it's kind of hard to catch.
I'm so heavy when I kick the basket. Half the man I couldn't carry my casket. Half the man I couldn't manage my classes. Other half wouldn't pass it regardless. Harder an artist, name them really. Bars that are mastered, ain't they? Filthy chance of a lasted, they ain't kill me. Heart of darkness, yet I still be the best fitter to ever to touch mics here. No hat, you got ears, it's quite clear. I gone clear, they gone fear, the top tier. I drop tears so much that I can stop beers.
I dropped tears so much I could stock beers. I thought I heard that right.
Here. No hat, you got ears, it's quite clear. I gone clear, they gone fear, the top tier. I drop tears so much that I can stop beers. They stop tears to clock mere pretenders. And now they remember what a legend looks like when you enter. And what a present supplies that we render. This rendition, this pen's mission is men missing. My youth listen, your friend wishing, his friend listen. Two men spitting, and then christen himself a believer in the barism, barbarism, bar scar rhythm. Half past killing, half past killing. Man at old school like a Ross Clark chilling. Don't believe me, go on.
Like a Rosclot. Rosclot, boy. Right? I don't really understand what that means because he said shilling.
Barbarism, bar scar rhythm. Half past villain, half past killing. Man at old school like a Ross Clark chilling. Don't believe.
Rosclot shilling. The shilling, well, a Rosclot, if I'm understanding, it's an offensive term. Derogatory term is what we would say in the U.S., right? I know I think literally it means like an ass cloth, right? Or as you guys say in the UK, arse, right? Arse. But I don't know, is it like is it a woman's sanitary towel, like a maxi pad? Or is it like I'll wipe my ass with that? I don't really understand the meaning. Again, it's just not something that we use out here. Now, I think Raz, doesn't it mean butt? Right, I think, but a shilling, I think shilling is like a form of currency. Now, 1 shilling, oh yeah, put your hands out for your meatball, right? I don't know what Rosclot shilling. That sounds weird. I don't think I've ever heard that.
Barbarism, bar scar rhythm, half past villain, half past killing. Man at old school like a Ross Clark chilling. Don't believe me, go ask Charles Dickens. Twist up the rhythm.
Don't believe me, go ask Charles Dickens, right? We know that Akala's a writer. Charles Dickens also is an English writer. And I guess you could say he was a critic as well, but he's better known for his writing. He created some of the world's best known fictional characters, and he's a lot of people would consider him the greatest novelist of what we call the Victorian era.
Half past killing, man at old school like a Ross Clark chilling. Don't believe me, go ask Charles Dickens. Twist up the rhythm like Oliver Picking. Pick up your lip and then properly pillage all of the property plots.
Twist up the rhythm like Oliver Picking. Charles Dickens, he could be talking about Oliver Twist, right? Rhythm. I believe in a Jamaicans, that's how they pronounce rhythm. The fun fact that my daughter, the 5-year-old, is actually mixed with Jamaican, amongst other things as well. Our family is very mixed. But her grandfather was a reggae artist. They actually had a label and a deal with Sony. But I believe rhythm, he's trying to say rhythm, right? That's a Jamaican pronunciation of rhythm. But it's playing it with Oliver Twist, also tying it to Charles Dickens, if I'm not mistaken. Please let me know in the comment section if there's another meaning for rhythm that maybe something that's more of a UK reference.
Me go off Charles Dickens, twist up the rhythm like Oliver Pickens. Pick up your lip and properly pillage all of the property plots in the village. Bring all your killers, all I see is dinners. Your microwave box in a minute.
He said, bring all your killers. All I see is dinner, right? We gonna eat them up, bro. They ain't shit.
Dumb as you feel with all of the property plots in the village. Bring all your killers, all I see is dinners. Your microwave bars will be done in a minute. Dumb as you feel when you come in a minute. I'm Duppy and everyone's Duppy. I kill. All I see is dinners. Your microwave bars will be done.
He said, your microwave bars will be done in a minute. Dumb, look at your microwave bars will be done in a minute, and it looks like he's in a microwave. Check out the visual there. That's sick. But I like what he said. He said, dumb as you feel when you come in a minute.
Properly pillage all of the property plots in the village. Bring all your killers, all I see is dinners. Your microwave bars will be done in a minute. Dumb as you feel when you come in a minute. I'm Duppy and everyone's Duppy. I kill it. Don't know what
did he say? Duppy again?
Your microwave bars will be done in a minute. Dumb as you feel when you come in a minute. I'm Duppy and everyone's Duppy. I kill it. Don't know.
Duppy, I don't know. I hope I'm getting that right. Is that like a spirit or a ghost? Because it doesn't seem. He said, I'm Duppying everyone's Duppy. I kill it.
If you know that is the spirit, but in a minute, dumb as you.
Yeah, because he said something about don't know if you know that I'm the spirit. So I definitely think it's a malevolent spirit, right? Or a bad spirit. But I'm Duppying everyone. It's Duppy. I don't understand that.
All of the property plots in the village. Bring all your killers, all I see is dinners. Your microwave bars will be done in a minute. Dumb as you feel when you come in a minute. I'm Duppy and everyone's Duppy. I kill it. Don't know if you know that is the spirit, but that's an aside. Let's get back to the spitting. The matter of rapping the lyric, I'm so far ahead that I have to admit it. Gets embarrassing. Bless them man and them. Try so hard, but they just can't manage it. Do like Stannis did. Sacrifice your daughter. Still cut slaughter.
Do like Stannis did. Is that a Game of Thrones reference? I haven't even finished watching the series, but my wife watches it. That's a Game of Thrones reference, I believe.
Bless them man and them. Try so hard, but they just can't manage it. Do like Stannis did. Sacrifice your daughter. Still cut slaughter a quarter. Man and them. Try so hard, but they just can't manage it. Do like Stannis did. Sacrifice your daughter.
Yeah, do like Stannis did. Sacrifice your daughter. Is it Shireen, right? That was the daughter of Stannis. Right? She was a loving daughter, Shireen, right? And she expressed to him that she wanted to help him out. She wanted to do whatever she could to help her father. And she didn't really know what was going on. So Shireen, right? Basically, Stannis asked his daughter for her forgiveness. And then he sacrificed her to, what was that dude's name? I'm not really, I didn't even finish watching the series. I got involved with some other stuff, but I'm pretty confident that's a Game of Thrones reference.
Gets embarrassing, bless them man and them. Try so hard, but they just can't manage it. Do like Stannis did. Sacrifice your daughter. Still cut slaughter a quarter. Cliche to say the flow's water, but we spray the most, it's like Pornhub. Cliche.
Well, we spray the most, it's like Pornhub, right? That's it's Pornhub, right? I think most people know what Pornhub is. But he said we spray more than Pornhub.
Still cut slaughter a quarter. Cliche to say the flow's water, but we spray the most, it's like Pornhub. Cliche to say the flow's water, but we bring. Try so hard, but they just can't manage it. Do like Stannis did. Sacrifice your daughter. Yeah. Still cut slaughter a quarter. Cliche to say the flow's water, but we spray the most, it's like Pornhub. Cliche to say the flow's sauna, but we bring the heat up like Dawn does. Everyone saw us. Spray the most, it's like Pornhub. Cliche to say the flow's sauna, but we bring the heat up like Dawn does. Everyone saw us. Spray the most, it's like Pornhub. Cliche to say the flow's sauna, but we bring the heat up like Dawn does. Everyone saw us.
Dawn does. We bring the heat up like Dawn does with the sun, right?
We speak is just gorgeous, and we swing like a crackhead jaw does. Half a battalion packed in a door. That's just my head. Practice enormous, cause all of the facts that I thought of. Fracture your back and then walk off like a casual chat with a sawn off. I don't know why he is complaining. All I did was just beat his brain in. No fight, weren't even training. I was eating my Akala and my Akala. Search the globe, never find a better you. That's like watching the news to find a bag of truth. You be so confused, it's like better.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You see the image that he put up there. What did he reference? He said Aki and what? Kalaloo? I've only heard of these. I've never tried them. Man, I wish I could get some people from the UK. Man, I could sell you some money or PayPal some money over. Because I've heard this reference, right? He said Aki and Kalamu. Aki is like I don't want to say an apple, right? But it's in the same family. It's like what do they call it, lychee, right? But I know it's native to West Africa. I actually know a little bit about the name. It honors a person that first brought the fruit from Jamaica to England, and this was like in the late 1700s. But I've never had it. Callaloo as well. My family. As I said, I'm black and Mexican. My mom is black. My dad is Mexican, but I didn't really know my dad. My mom is black, and we can trace her roots to the Cape Verde Islands and then the Ivory, the west coast of Africa. Her family was from Senegal, and so I picked up a lot of things along the way. I try to try Cape Verdean foods, right, or they say Cabo Verde. I try to try. Portuguese food, right? But callaloo, it's a Caribbean vegetable dish. There's a ton of variants. I've noticed whenever you go to a Caribbean place, it's kind of like Puerto Rican food. Everyone makes the rice different, right? But it's very leafy. There's leafy vegetables. There's leaves. Man, I just wish I could try it, but there's nowhere around here that I think I would have any access to that. I'd love to. I'm sure if I look hard enough, I can find a restaurant that specializes in this, but really interesting that he referenced.
Yeah, my callaloo, search raining. All I did was just beat his braining. No fight, weren't even training. I was eating my aki and my callaloo. Search low, never find a bad you. That's like watching the news to find a bag of truth. You be so confused, it's like bad news. You be so confused. Everybody bad on the mic, they play hard, I make
bada deuce.
Find a bag of truth, you be so confused, it's like bad news. You be so confused. Never find a bad you. That's like watching the news to find a bag of truth. You be so confused, it's like bad news.
Man, let me know what bada deuce is. I don't think I've ever heard that. Bada deuce.
Never find a bad you. That's like watching the news to find a bag of truth. You be so confused, it's like bad.
Yeah, he did put it up. It was BADADOOSE. Bada deuce. I don't think he said you'll be so confused. Let me know in the comment section if you know what bada deuce is.
Aki and my callaloo, search your globe, never find a bad you. That's like watching the news to find a bag of truth. You be so confused, it's like bad news. You be so confused. Everybody bad on the mic, they play hard. I make so many Duppy, you think to their graveyard. Take charge with 8 bars, I've said more than you've said in your life. So poor, blimey, yard, limey, bars that are blindly try me. Ridiculous flow.
Yeah, he just dropped a lot of words.
Everybody bad on the mic, they play hard. I make so many Duppy, you think to their graveyard. Take charge with 8 bars, I've said more than you've said in your life. So poor, blimey, yard, limey, bars that are blindly.
I don't know what that means. There's the bada deuce word. It's like bada deuce. But he said core, blimey, yard, limey. Core, right? That means like surprise, right? Excitement. And I think blimey does too. I don't know if they're interchangeable. Is that like a homonym, right? Or a synonym, right? They mean similar things, but they're spelled different. I get those confused all the time. But man, if you could in the comment section, core, blimey, yard, limey. Now, limey, I've heard that before. I think, or is limey? I thought that was just a British person. But I don't know. Maybe these all mean the same thing, right? Because I think there's a surprise or excitement. But let me know. I might be butchering that.
In my aki and my callaloo, search your globe, never find a bad you. That's like watching the news to find a bag of truth. You be so confused, it's like bad news. You be so confused. Everybody bad on the mic, they play hard. I make so many Duppy, you think to their graveyard. Take charge with 8 bars, I've said more than you've said in your life. So poor, blimey, yard, limey, bars that are blindly try me. Ridiculous flows, flips on the rolls, hint of rolls in a pit full of skulls. Know your mom said to stick to your goals, but she lied blood, you ain't even close. Better quit now while you're ahead. I'm ahead by so many leagues. Better I sit down and shave my dreads. Than let any spend believe it can load up the ink in my cartridge. Let alone print on the parchment. The bar and the bars that I'm barking. Spar with your spar when I spark him. No, I always love you. This man look like Dolly Parton and Uncle Akala.
Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton was a country singer from yesteryear. But she's known for her unbelievably big breasts. She did a lot of surgeries in her day.
And I won't always love you. This man look like Dolly Parton and Uncle Akala. You know me, half professor, half an MC, half an arsehole, half a teacher, halfway bad breed, half a preacher. You try to tell me it's...
I love what he's saying, right? He said, I'm Uncle Akala. You know me, half a professor, half MC, half an asshole, half a teacher, half bad breed, half a preacher. Yo!
Arkham. And I won't always love you. This man look like the little
No,
one of Akala. You know me, our professor, half an MC, half of an arsehole, half a teacher, halfway bad breed, half a preacher. You try tell me it's hard to reach ya, but this slap has a finder's feature. Look,
this slap has a finder's feature. He said it's hard to reach you, but the slap has a finder's feature. You can't hide, bro.
Blood, stay out my way, no time to be fussed. Ain't no space for you here, we're full up. Bars to go over your head, you gotta pull up.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about right there. So many cats want to just, I'm telling you, man, if you guys don't believe me, I don't know if you guys in the UK or anybody in the US also listens to Kanye West. Man, Kanye West's early work was like incredible, right? I vibed with it. I was just feeling it. He comes from where I come from, the same city, in fact. We're the same age. But if you look at some of the more recent songs that I've broken down, man, check them out. There is just no substance at all. I'm just like waiting for it. And the song's over. And it's like an incredible beat. He's saying a few things and nothing. And I left like, is it me? Am I asking too much of these artists? Man, I went back to some Akala and I feel like I've been able to eat, right? I just feel fulfilled, right? That was just dope, man. There's so much substance there. There's so much history. There's so much knowledge. And I love that it was actually really hard to break down. And I don't know if it's just because of the cultural references and the Jamaican stuff, right? But I love that it just pushes the bar as to what you know, because it makes you, there's so many things that I want to Google, right? I'm like reaching for my phone. It's like, nah, let's finish the video because I want to reference these things. So if we keep exploring his work, now I know what he's talking about. Man, that was just great. And I'm a fan. If you're a fan of Akala and you're a fan of intellectual music and people that have something to say and intellectual breakdowns, man, show some love by subscribing to the channel. We're already at over 500 subscribers, and we just started really at the start of the year. So it's going really well. We're going to build our platform, and then we're going to do some great things with the station. I hope you guys are along for the ride.